Okay, hello everybody. This is another adventure for the Unnamed Adventurers Guild Dungeons Dragons game, and I'm Ty Johnston, the Dungeon Master for this session. And it's been some unfortunate uh, circumstances for the guild lately. Though a few of the members did get a little rich from a dragon horde, the dragon did escape after slaying the mother of one of our famed adventurers' store. And for the actual guild itself, there's a lawsuit going on. After a few months back, there was a battle in a small town called Ando, Tirion, and a merchant there has decided to, even though the good guys won, the merchant has decided to sue the guild for damages because some of his items were destroyed and damaged during the combat. And he's also called for the arrest of some of the guild members. And today's guild members who have shown up, runners were sent forth with messages to find some guild members for a mission. And these are the folks who have shown up. And I'll let them go ahead and describe themselves, who their character is. I'll start from left to right, and on mine, from left to right in mine, it's Dan.
Okay, today I'm playing the part of Dwarven Battle Mage Devlin Axecaster. He's new to the guild. He was contracted by a couple of the guild masters to kind of keep an eye on things. He's not real familiar with Illumina and the ways outside of Dwarven kind, as he's mostly lived his life in the Demonary Mountains at the Dwarven city of Atlas Pass. As such, he's a bit gruff and not too keen on civil things, but basically he's an earthen mage who would just assume hit something with his axe as talk things out. He's lawful neutral, so that might play a part today, as he wants to uphold the law a little bit more than he wants to play nice with people. So that's him.
And according to a certain half-orc warlock, he's also a racist. But
yeah, he's not too keen on the more savage races, as you know, they're not very orderly. So he doesn't care for orcs, gnolls, ogres, kobolds, any of that kind of thing. Basically, they're savage creatures.
Okay, next up we've got Javier.
Hello everybody, back again playing Oral Serval Smile, this half-elf paladin that's been tagging along time with the guild and traveling with Flesh to the far north to meet the Silver Dragon, and then going back to meet another dragon, a black one this time, trying to unsuccessfully, sadly, save Stor's mother. And now this half of paladin heavy armor with a long, very long sword in his back, this long hair, fair hair, and quite beautiful features, although he seems to lack the neutral, despite his very elfish looking more than human, he seems to like the completely lack their natural grace and in his movements. But and as he heard the news of the guild having this legal problem, he offered to help in any way possible. When they were told that this individual that was suing the guild seemed to have some fishy background and it would be interesting to investigate him, he offered right away to help us, the guild, as much as he can.
Okay, and next up we've got Christopher with Store.
Yeah, Store was the guy that just lost his mother, so he's not that happy right now. He is a big guy. He mainly uses pipe, and he was a former soldier, but going to the guilds instead. And he was called upon because he was there when the accident happened in the city, I think. And now he needs to straighten out what happened. And yeah, I think that's that.
Okay. And last, unless somebody else shows up, we've got Bill.
Hey, my name's Bill. I'm playing Anders Redberry, the level 6 rogue halfling. I make maps and kick ass. Next.
And not necessarily in that order. All right. As you guys, by coincidence, you guys are approaching the guild hall in Illumina at about the same time. And as you near the front doors, you see coming away from the entrance is a group of city guards. There's an officer in the front, and then behind him are 12 of his men. And 10 of these men are carrying halberds, but there are 2 in the back who are holding on to crossbows. And they're obviously marching away from the guild. And right smack dab in the middle of these 12 soldiers, well, 13 counting the officer, is your old buddy Fletch. And Fletch is not wearing his armor. He's not wearing his weapons. He's just got a tunic on, pants and boots. And his hands in front of him are shackled. And as he sees you guys, they're marching by, he sort of waves his hands, lifts his hands up and waves. And he says, "Hey guys, don't worry about me. Not like it's been the first time or anything."
What has happened, Fletch? What have you done? Why are you in chains?
Go on in the guild, find out. But don't worry, I'm not going to tell him anything like about that orc we murdered recently in the house we broke into, or when we broke into the city hall or into the city vault and stole some highly powerful magic items, or did some raid rob. I'm not going to tell him anything like that.
So these guards, can we tell if these
running his finger across his throat.
Excuse me?
Like, shh. Saying, Andrew starts running his finger across his throat, saying, shh, shh.
These guards, can we tell, are they Illumina City guards, or do they represent some other faction?
No, they're Illumina City guards.
Okay.
They're wearing those uniforms. They're tabards of the colors of Illumina City guards. And when Fletch says these things, the officer in command, his face just kind of falls, and he just sort of shakes his head like he really doesn't need this kind of trouble today. And then Fletch will say, "I really don't know why they're arresting me. It would be easier just to kill me and cut off my head than they could get 500 gold pieces." And at this, some of the guards are kind of looking at each other like, "Really? Really?" And the officer's head just sinks lower and keeps going on. And the officer's seeing you guys. He'll say, "Look, your friend's under arrest. He agreed to it. He's just going to be questioned. He'll probably be locked up for 2 or 3 days, and then I'm sure he'll be let go unless he says something stupid."
Well, he seems to have a drinking problem, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's drunk right now.
Fletch is like, yeah, that's it. I'm drunk."
Okay, it's nice to hear that, but Fletch, please don't get yourself killed. We still have things to do together, and I don't really want to see you killed.
I've probably
Please
got
get
more
out of
friends
it.
inside. He's like, "I've probably got more friends inside the jail than I do outside, to be honestly."
But this is still best to be outside, trust me.
Oh, yeah, but I figure if worse come to worse, I can get out whenever I want, or you guys can come get me out. And the officer, again, if his head could sink to the ground, it almost would. And he's just like, let's go. Come on. Come on. So him and his men and Fletcher are going to march off unless you guys are, going to do something crazy like attack them or something like that.
No, no. Earl is just like with face palming and shaking his head like, oh my god.
Why are they questioning you, Fletch?
Oh, the battle in Ando Tirion. Which store was there?
I'm gonna hold my hand up and try to walk away.
So they should be taking store too, then.
Apparently they just wanted leaders, and I was fortunate enough to be in charge. In theory, anyway, I was in charge of the battle. So
I wanted to be in charge.
Next time you will be. I'm not going to be in charge anymore from now on. But hey, at least I'll have street cred now. Again, go on into the guild. There'll be somebody in there who can tell you guys what's going on. But apparently, at the Battle of Ando Tirion, we ticked off somebody, and they've decided to take it out on the guild. And with that, the butt of a halberd kind of hits Fletch in the back, and it's like, let's get going. And he and the soldiers are going to march away, which actually isn't that far to the city jail. I think it's just maybe a few blocks up the road. Are you guys going to go into the guild after that, or?
I'm gonna tell Fletch I'm gonna come with some good food when I'm finishing the guild.
Okay. He'll appreciate it. And at the guild, when you guys go through the doors, you'll see Pincus, who you pretty much always see there. He's sort of sitting in the back at a table, and there's all kinds of papers there, and there's a few other people that you don't necessarily recognize, but they all seem to be dressed very nice, and there's books and, like I said, papers and things like that, and they kind of seem sort of busy, like they're going over stuff. Now, one of the figures who actually Store has seen before, Fletch spoke with him when you guys were in, or some of you anyway, were in Ando Tirion. He's a tall human, probably late 50s, early 60s. He's got a little bit of hair, but he's starting to go bald-headed some. He's got long, dark purplish robes on, and around his neck is a gold chain, and there's a symbol at the end of the chain, and it looks like a little gold book with its pages laid open. And when you guys come in the door, this person will kind of look up, and he and Pincus will share a few words for a minute, and then this tall human will start coming towards you. And he will say, well, thank goodness some of you have shown up. Most of you probably don't know me. My name is Federo. I am a guild master for the guild's offices in Ando Tirion. And in case you've not heard, we're facing a lawsuit for the Battle of Ando Tirion. There's a merchant named Tannister who's suing us. And he is also calling for the arrest of guild members. He says that the guild is a danger to society in general for the most part, but he says we're a threat to the citizens. So he called for the arrest of guild members, including myself and Pincus. But to tell the truth, we kind of run the show in Ando Tirion. You don't need to spread that around, but so charges in Ando Tirion couldn't be filed. So he decided to come here to Illumina, where not quite everybody's in love with the guild. And a tribunal of 3 judges has been appointed. One of the council members set that up. And now they're bringing a bunch of us in for questioning. However, they couldn't arrest us here in Illumina because the charges aren't local. But a group of guards, as you saw, did show up. Basically said they had to arrest someone to make it look good, if nothing else. And Fletch volunteered. It was either him, myself, or Pincus, because we were the only ones. Adelaide's not around at the moment. And Fletch volunteered. He thought that would be the best thing. But the reason I sent out, Pincus and myself sent out runners to find you all, is this merchant Tannister, who does a business in Ando, Tirion, and who is suing us. I've got some concerns about him, as do some of the other guild leaders. And pardon Pincus, he's busy right now with our attorneys, our legal team, going over everything. And Tannister showed up about a year ago. He bought a house outside of Ando, Tirion. And he started doing good business there. Ando Tirion's a mining community, so he started selling items to miners and did pretty well for himself. However, also over the last year, when the Dark Queen's forces started attacking everything around Ando Tirion, her forces would loot, pillage, rape, sort of typical for them. But for some reason, Tannister's house never got touched where he lives. He bought a farm, what used to be a farm, and for some reason, like I said, it never got touched. It was never attacked or anything, which seems a little curious to me. So I was wondering if you folks would be able to go out. Of course, we'll pay you. If you could go out to his property and take a look around, see what you could find out about this Tannister.
So, what you're being accused of in this Ando Tirion, are you saying it's unwarranted? Or did you actually do the crimes?
Well, what happened in Ando Tirion? You weren't there. What happened in Ando Tirion? I was. I didn't take part in the fighting, but I saw it from the background. The town was being attacked by, I believe there were giants and gnolls and hobgoblins, and there were some other creatures involved. Our guild members worked together with the local city watch to protect the town, and during combat, things happened. There was a barrel of oil that caught fire and exploded. Part of the front gate of the town was damaged seriously. There were some people killed. But at the end of the day, our forces triumphed. And again, there's always going to be fatalities in battle. So did we do it? Did we not do it? Well, yeah, technically our people were there, but would it have been better for us not to defend the town, just to let it go?
You can't let savage creatures like that just run loose in the city.
Well, exactly. And, well, again...
Why did you say that? I stored on a loot in the air and kind of remember that, and it was not like he remembered that, but anyway, so that's why it sounds much better the way he said.
So, to get you started, in case you want to help anything, Federo is going to offer each of you now 50 gold pieces each. He'll go ahead and give it to you now in case you need it for this farm, or Tannister's farm, is about 3 days away. So in case you want to rent or buy horses or something, he'll give you 50 gold pieces each now. And it's about 3 days walking. If you ride, it's probably only about a day and a half.
Well, since he ponied up the money, I guess I'll rent a pony.
Okay. And it's up to you guys what you want to do now. He'll pretty much say...
I'm not a great rider, but if time is an issue here, I guess we could get some horses and hope they don't kick me out this time.
Okay. So everybody going to go buy some horses?
I have a mule, so I don't use that.
You have a what?
A mule?
Oh, that's right. You do. So Bill, is Anders interested in buying a horse, or is he going to hoof it?
He doesn't want to. He can ride with
I'll get a
if you want.
pony.
Okay. It'll be standard book prices. I think a pony's maybe 25 or 20, something like that.
No adventure equipment.
Oh, hold on a second.
Mounts and animals. Shit, horses are expensive.
A donkey is 8 gold. Or a mule.
Could always get a mastiff.
A pony is 30 gold. It's up to you.
Cannot we only rent them?
Yeah, if you want to do that, you can rent them for.
Yeah, I prefer
say a
to.
week.
Yeah, I want to rent, say, a riding horse for a week. Yeah.
Okay, you can do that for 10 gold, and it'll come with everything that you need for it.
Okay. With all the saddle, the breeds, the food for the week and such.
Yeah, and it'll have saddlebags and stuff like that.
Okay, good. I don't want really to buy a horse. I will wait to level up for that.
Okay. And okay, so you guys are heading forth. I'll take it. We'll say it's roughly about noonish time, and you're riding out of town. And when it comes dark, I'm guessing you're going to set the usual watches. But nothing untoward happens during the night. However, the next day, after you guys are not quite halfway there. If you really pushed, you could make it at the end of this day, let's say. But the next day, about an hour after you've been on the road in the morning, you're kind of in, I guess, sort of what traditional English type countryside. It's farming community for the most part. There are walls that separate some of the farms and some of the acres. And you've been riding along for a while, and suddenly Storr and Anders notice that to the south of you, on the south side of the road, there's a wall on either, like brick, not brick, sort of stone walls and rock walls that have been put together. Not the wall immediately to the south, right next to the road, but about 100 feet beyond that, there's another wall. There's like a field and then another wall. And behind that second wall, every so often a head kind of pops up, like it's looking at you guys, and then it pops back down.
Can I roll and try and stealth out of there without the head noticing?
Sure. Yeah, and the wall is about 3 feet tall, or the walls next to the road are about 3 feet tall, so you should have very little trouble doing this.
All right, tell me what to roll.
A d20.
All right, so you're just gonna let me roll standard stealth?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll even give you advantage on it because of the wall.
Oh, sexy. All right, let me pull out some dice since Dice Streamer doesn't like me. My bandwidth sucks. All right, so advantage. I rolled a 15 and a 16, and I'm plus 11.
You're fine. Yeah, you're pretty sure this guy did not see you.
Okay.
And Anders, being small, sort of does a little backflip off the back of his pony and lands. he was so good at it, you guys almost didn't even see it. And you're there with him. Are you going to ride on, or the rest of you?
I guess we will continue to slowly pace, yeah, because I mean it will be suspicious if not, but just slowly.
Devlin will look back at his little backflip and stuff, and not really knowing who this person is, he'll kind of say to the others in the group, "What foolishness is that little one getting off to?"
Just don't hit me. All right, so I'm going to saddle up and saddle along and see what I can see.
Okay, you will, after a few feet, you will see like a wooden gate, but it is shut if you want to go into the fielded area. And as you're watching, yeah, every minute or two you kind of see the head pop up. And Anders is a skilled, well, he's a skilled rogue. It's pretty obvious to you that this is somebody who does not really know what they're doing. This isn't somebody who's like trained in tailing or anything like that. Why they're doing it's a different story, but yeah, this is obviously somebody who's not a professional, so to speak.
Okay. I'm going to try and get as close as I possibly can, like backstabbing range.
Okay, you can probably do this. You'll have to either open the gate or climb the short wall. But his attention is obviously not on you. It's on your friends who are riding ahead. So you'll have to climb a wall, cross the field, and then climb another wall because he's behind that. Say, give me 2 stealth rolls.
Okay. I rolled a 10, which gives me 21.
Okay.
And a 17, which gives me 28.
Okay. I won't worry about the climbing because they're just short walls. You get over the first wall, you can...
I have second story work.
Yeah. And you can cross the... It takes you a little while to run across the field, but there's plants here. I'm taking it... Anders is not a farmer, but there's some kind of plant here that's growing just about tall as he is. So he can easily screw through there and get over the other wall. And as your friends are slowly riding ahead and you get over the second wall, you're not like right behind this guy, but basically one movement. You're within backstabbing range. One movement and you could get him. But what Anders sees is this is a fairly young human, 16 to 18 years old, maybe 20, male. He's dressed in a tattered shirt that's probably older than he is, and pants, and the shoes he's got on are basically just like it's like a rope shoes, like tied shoes that somebody's made, like homemade. He does have stuffed into his belt, which is another rope. It's a sickle, but even this is like, it's old and rusted. It's, obviously not taken care of. And this guy, he doesn't look sickly, but he's definitely not a threat. I mean, he's average height, really skinny, probably undernourished. But like I said, he's sort of following along the wall, and every so often he looks up watching your friends.
All right. I'm going to pull out one of my ration kits and start nibbling on some leavened bread and casually saunter up to him. Like, stand next to him and look over the wall with him. I'm breaking up, aren't I? Unleavened bread.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, lean against the wall beside him.
He kind of pokes his head up and looks over, And then suddenly his head darts to the side and looks at you. And he just starts muttering, uh, uh, and he's like backing away slowly.
I
Obviously
extend my
scared.
hand. Yeah, I extend my hand and offer him some bread.
With a shaking hand, he reaches out and takes your hand, and his other hand will like grab the bread.
Cool.
Um,
I just sit there and nibble with him. He can see it's safe. So, what's up, buddy?
I'm just doing my job.
Okay. Who sent you?
That's all. Captain Gobb. He's in charge of the local militia. I'm just supposed to watch the road and report back to him. Anytime I see anybody that, like, let's see, he said not soldiers and not guards, but anybody that, like, isn't uniform. That was his word, uniform. But, like, different people that have different weapons and, maybe one or two of them, different types of armor. I'm supposed to look for those kind of people and report back to him. He takes a bite of bread. Unfortunately, I've not seen anybody like that today.
Well, yeah, because if your report differs from our report, it's not going to look so good. But I'll tell you what, and I leave the rest of the ration pack on the top of the wall, and as I'm walking away, I say, "You certainly don't want to report this," and then I just walk away, and I go back to my companions and get back on the back of the mule.
He definitely takes the food, and even you guys can see from a distance on horseback. He's just standing up now. I mean, he realizes there's no reason for him to hide anymore. And yeah, Anders gets back to his mule, no problem. This kid just stands there eating and watches you guys do whatever you're going to do, if you're going to ride on or.
Yeah, I report back to the guys, tell them everything, what little there is, and just explain that this guy's no threat. He's just a scout.
Yeah.
It's okay. He seems like a child from here. I guess we could go.
So, unless somebody says otherwise, I take it you guys are riding ahead. And you go about, let's say about 5 miles. And you're still in the same kind of countryside. You've been riding about an hour, let's say. You're still in the same kind of countryside. There's not quite as many walls here. There are now a few trees lining the side of the road. And you can see in the distance ahead of you, there are some figures in the road. Obviously standing in the middle of the road across the road, and they're not on horseback. From a distance, it looks like there's about 7 or 8 of them. I'll give you guys more information if you continue forward.
I'm gonna continue forward because
Yeah.
Do they look organized like a militia or something, or just kind of haphazard?
No, they look organized. Not necessarily well. I mean, they don't seem like they're really well trained, but I mean, they're a group, and they're standing in a line kind of across the road.
All right, I'll just continue forward.
Hold on one
Yeah, I'm
second.
going. Okay. All right, PvP, roll to hit.
What was that?
What? Nothing.
You guys are continuing forward, getting closer. If anyone wants to do something beforehand, just let me know. The nearer you get, You can tell there's a central figure who's wearing chainmail and a helmet, and he's got a long sword, and he's got it out. Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, all of his equipment, it's old, it's rusted. This guy, I mean, he's fat, he's got a big stomach, a beard that's gray, he's older. It looks like some retired guy, maybe. But there are 6 other guys with him, and all of them appear very young. They're maybe a little older than the guy that Anders saw out in the field, but they're not much older. These guys, 18 to 21, around in there. And each of them is wearing leather armor, but it's obviously like homemade stuff. Mom sewed this stuff together, and it's patchwork and things like that. And these guys are mostly carrying clubs. The 2 of them do have like sort of cheap light crossbows. And they're just sort of standing there watching. And even the older guy that's heavy in the middle of the chainmail with the long sword, his sword is out, but it's upside down, and it's kind of like he's almost leaning on it because it's sort of the tip sort of stuck into the ground.
When we get closer, I'm gonna jump down off my mule and walk up to him.
He'll stick out his right hand to you.
Yeah, I don't see it.
And he's like, "Who are you fellas?"
I'm Store, and that is my party members. But yeah, we just need to go and visit a city because of a lawsuit.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
he's the savior of Tirion.
Oh, Ando Tirion. Yeah, we know there. We go into town every once in a while. So he's a savior of Ando Tirion.
Yeah, I was in the battle with the dragons, the snake dragons thing attacked the city.
Oh. Does that mean you fellas are in this, what is it, Adventurers Guild?
Probably.
Well, I'm contracted by them, if that's what you mean.
Oh, okay. Well, the reason me and my boys are out here today is there's a new local ordinance passed, and I'm sorry, but we've got to charge a toll for anybody who comes through with weapons or armor.
Charge what?
A toll. If you want to continue on the road through this part of the country, you got to pay the toll.
How much is the toll?
Well, it depends on what kind of weapons and armor you got. For swords, it's 10 gold pieces per sword, 2 gold pieces per dagger. Anything in between, like a club or something, we can let you go with 5 gold pieces. If you're wearing armor, if it's just leather or something like that, we can let you go with 10 gold. But if you're going to be like anybody in like plate or anything heavy, go ahead.
I'm going to interrupt this guy with my laughter. Yeah, I might cough too when I'm laughing so hard.
He sort of glares at you like, "What's your problem, short stuff?"
Oh, yeah. I'm getting off. I'm walking up to him. How many are there total?
Counting him altogether, there are 7.
Yeah.
And the top of your head is probably like right around where his beer gut is, depending on how close you want to get.
I'm going to get right up to him, and I'm going to pull out one of my short swords and say, "So, how much for this?"
That'll be 10 gold.
Does he have anything on him that I can pickpocket? Like a weapon?
He does have a belt on, and there's a bag. There is like a little money pouch hanging from it, and on what would be his right side, your left, and on the opposite side, there's a dagger there.
You know what? You gave me a great idea just by saying he's got a belt. I'd like to unlatch his belt really quick, sleight of hand, as a bonus action, my cunning action.
Okay, go ahead. Are you doing this stealthily, or are you just doing it real quick right out in the open?
Oh, right out in the open. I mean, like, his belt is right there. I just want to mess with him.
Yeah.
Kind of like
In fact, his belt,
bra.
in fact, you'll barely have to raise your arm because his belt is like down under his gut.
Nice. I rolled a modified 20.
Okay. Yeah, you'll have no problem. Now, what is it exactly you're wanting to do?
Unlatching his belt so that all of his equipment just falls. Maybe his pants.
Yeah. The belt comes undone, and then his pants just fall.
He bends down to pick it up. I want to unlatch his armor, like around the shoulders. I just want to like literally mess with this guy and humiliate him.
You little rat! He bends over. Do another sleight of hand roll.
7 plus 5, 20, 12.
Okay, you get it. There's like a buckle that's he's wearing mostly chainmail, but there is like a plate in his shoulders, and you get it about half unbuckled. It doesn't come all the way off, but it's definitely loose and kind of hanging there and useless now. And
nice.
He's like, you bastard! And he's got his hands up. His left hand is pulling his pants up. His right hand's dragging his sword back, not for a hit. He's just pulling it back. And he starts backing up some. And he looks up with his pants still more or less around his knees now. He's just glaring right away at Anders. He's like, you all do recognize I've got the authority to arrest every single one of you, don't you?
Having the authority and having the ability are two totally different things, boy.
Boy.
When he says he has the authority, can I roll an insight on that?
Sure.
I just stand in and shake my hands and pull out 2 javelins. not to attack, but just pull them out. And while they're doing stuff, I'm going to the 2 that have clubs. I say, here, better weapons for you. Try to while I do it.
One of them just kind of backs away like he's scared of you, and the other one sort of sticks his club under his arm. He's like, oh, cool, a javelin. And he'll take it from you.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there holding it, looking it over. Dan, did you make your roll?
Yeah, I put it in the chat. I rolled a 5, but I have a -2 on insight, so it's a 3.
Okay. Oh, well, yeah, as far as you can tell, this guy seems to be telling the truth.
Alright, knowing full well that this guy has the authority of this land, I'm like, we don't mean any trouble, we'll respect your authority. How much is it for me with my scale mail and my battle axe?
Let's see. He's stepping good distance back from Anders, like, well, let's say 12 feet. And unless Anders is going to do something before he can do that.
I'm about to roll to hit Devlin.
I'm lawful neutral, I mean, and I believe this guy's the law.
He hands off his sword
are not going to influence my ability to whoop this guy's butt.
He hands off his sword to one of the younger men, and then he pulls his pants up and buckles it extra tight under his gut, so he has to suck his breath in. And he's like, well, finally, somebody around here treats me with a little respect. Let's see, scale mail and battle axe. I can let you go with 25 gold.
That seems a fair price, and I'll hand him the 25 gold and start riding through the checkpoint. And I kind of take a look back at the rest of the party, not Anders, who I know is full of foolishness, and I look at the other two members, and I'm like, just kind of give them a look and a nod.
As soon as he gets
basically trying to show them that we don't need any trouble.
Oh, he'll take the gold, and as soon as it's in his hands, his eyes like light up really big. Like, I'm not used to seeing this much money in one place. But then he'll pocket it. All right, who's paying next? Big guy, you gonna pay?
So they let me pass?
Yeah, they let you right on past. You're behind them now. They're not even looking at you or paying attention to you anymore.
Okay.
So who's ponying up next? Short stuff, I got a feeling I'm going to be locking you up before the day's over with.
I'm gonna say I just armored the two of your guys, so I have paid my tolls.
I can give you a discount. Javelin's not worth all that much.
Okay, so give me my javelin back.
Give it back to him, Freddie. The kid kind of pouts, comes forward. He's like, "Here's your javelin." He hands it to you.
And I say to them, "Where's do you have the law on paper about new rule? About
what about the new rule?
The toll you need to pay."
Yeah, for you, you're sporting an awful lot of iron there, boy. I can let you through for 50 gold.
I just shake my head and go back to my mule and sit on that and say, "I should just wait here all day until you left, and I'm gonna go."
Oh, we don't have to leave. This is just one shift. I mean, somebody else will come later on and take over for us.
Yeah, no. And I'm gonna ride to the right, 100 meters that right, and try to get around.
He snaps his fingers, and the two guys behind him with crossbows both raise them and point them in your direction.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah, none of that nonsense. You either pay the toll or you turn around and go back the way you come.
Is that people military or the militia?
He hasn't said one way or the other yet.
Can I use my feature military rank to let me go through? Because I'm early military?
Yeah, you can try that. If you want to make either a persuasion or intimidation roll, whichever one you want to do.
Do what I best to intimidation.
Okay.
Yeah, 7. That's bad. Can I use inspiration? Or you want me to call that before?
You got a 10 altogether?
7.
I'll save you the inspiration point. He rolled lower than that.
No, okay, that's good.
So, yeah, he rolled really badly. He seems a little hesitant at first, but he finds out you were in the military, and he's like, "Yeah, okay, you can go on through."
And as a good gesture, I leave 2 javelins to them and say, "So you better prepare to next time." When people don't want to be told.
Well, the young Freddy runs forward and grabs both the javelins. He's like, "Wow, 2 of them."
You pussies! Oh, wow.
Basically,
Wow. Okay. You know what? I'm getting on my mule, and I'm just going to keep going.
or
Uh, hold on there, Shorty. And he will walk in front of your mule.
Okay, Dan's about to get his ass beat.
And he's pointing at you, and he's like, "No, hold on there. You're going to be under arrest if you continue forward."
this
Show me a badge. Show me a piece of paper.
before Anders.
What was that,
I mean,
Javier? He's like,
no, who person saying, but who did extracted this new tool? I mean, I've never told before where Sunway is charged because of its equipment and just traveling along the countryside. I mean, we we really need to. I don't know if I even have enough gold to pay for all the equipment I'm carrying.
I'm the captain of the local
Not
militia.
like I
I do what
feel
I'm
we really
told.
do pay.
There are little villages and stuff around here. They elected me captain of the local militia. I enforce their laws. That's my job.
Show me
You
a
want a
badge.
piece of, you
Show
want
me a
something that proves my rank?
So,
It's those crossbows right there.
Say that again.
He said, "You want to see something that proves my rank? It's in those crossbows right there."
I'm kicking all their asses. And Dan, shut up. Yeah. Nope. Seriously. Combat ready.
I'll let you go ahead and have first action.
Cool.
He doesn't even have his sword in hand because he handed it off to somebody.
Oh man.
There's a dagger on his belt.
This is ridiculous. All right, fine. Hold on. I'm gonna finish what you're gonna do there, Javier.
What was that? What was that last bit, Bill?
Oh, sorry. I was saying, what do you call it? For Javier to finish what he was saying or doing.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to insight check him to see to try to discern if he really it's like because I mean his behavior seems a bit suspicious. I mean he doesn't seem like a militia leader. It's like a bit I don't know. I mean just like threatening people and
Yeah,
I don't know.
give me an insight roll.
Oh well, that sucked. 8.
He rolled a 1. Okay, so Oral's a paladin, so he's somewhat familiar with military life and stuff like that. This guy
Yep.
is half and half. It kind of seems like he's telling you some of the truth, but there's a little glint in his eye, like there's something else going on too. Like maybe he is who he says he is, but
Okay.
he's not necessarily really operating under his real authority.
So, yeah, so basically, yeah, maybe he is, but he's like inventing things. Okay, so Oral will kind of step. Yeah, Garrel will kind of get in the middle in between Anders and him, so to kind of avoid and say, hmm, do you? I don't really think militia leader, as you call yourself, should be doing what you are doing right. And it's not good to, how you said, abuse or to for personal gains. I mean, it's nice today. I don't really have the time, to. In,
You know what? Give me a
I
persuasion roll.
really. Come on! I rolled the same thing again. 11.
Oh, 11.
I roll another 5.
He stands there and kind of stares at you while you're talking, and then his head kind of dips and he sort of shakes his head. He's like, "Okay, you're right. I just needed the money."
And Earl will kind of take his hand out and say, "I want money for my friend back there. Back, please."
Oh no, a fool and his money are soon parted. Keep what you got. We're leaving.
So you say that
And
aloud?
can have... Yes, I do. When you're too far away to hear it, so shut up.
You're just trying to
what I'm
start
playing.
trouble, Bill. Can you calm down a little bit?
Hey, you calm down. Anyway, can Javier have an inspiration for that? Because it's what I wanted to do, but was kind of thwarted.
Yeah, I can give Bobby Ayers inspiration for that. And Captain Gob will kind of wave his guys to the side, and they just sort of move to the side of the road, and you've got the road wide open now.
The money from Devlin?
He didn't step out to Devlin and offer it back.
All then will insist before we leave the money from the dwarf. You don't rightfully own that. You trick or how do you say this in English?
You guys just go on your way. You don't want trouble. We don't want trouble. Our business here is done.
Earl kind of stares at him somewhat angrily and disgusted by his attitude, but he'll slowly pace forward in home.
Okay. Anybody else going to do anything to these militia guys? As you're riding away, they will they're talking amongst themselves. You look back, and then they will kind of go off into the woods and start walking across a farmland. Throughout the rest of the day during your travels, you do see some people. I mean, you're going to pass some folks on the road. More coming from Ando, Tirion, heading towards Illumina. Just your usual traveling merchants, people going to market, things like that. It's near the end of the day, and you're not far from where your target's going to be. And I'll say I'll retcon just a little bit and say that Federo told you guys where this former farm is, and it's actually before you get to Ando, Tirion. It's a few miles short of it, and it's to the south, and there's like a dirt road that can take you to it, and he'll give you enough description to get there. But it's towards the end of the day. It's starting to get dark, and it's up to you guys how you want to proceed.
So I'd like to go to the city and rest there if the other one do. So.
Yeah, Ando Tirion's just a few miles down the road. You could come back in the morning or whenever. So is everybody else going along with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I think resting here seems like a fine plan.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm fine with that shit.
When you get to Ando Tirion, it will be dark now. And you actually have to ride. It's a walled town for those of you who have been there before, and you actually have to ride around to the eastern side to go through gates to get in. And as you're riding up, you'll definitely see uniformed men at the gates, the city watch, and one of them is a dwarf. And Storr might remember this guy. He was when Storr was here for the battle. This guy was in charge. He was the captain of the city watch. And as soon as he sees you all ride up, he will step forward with a big smile on his face, and he walks up to Storr and his horse and reaches up with his hand and says, "Storr, good to see you again."
I'm gonna jump down to him and give him a handshake and ask how it's doing in the city right now.
Things are going okay here since you guys got rid of the Dark Queen's forces, and we've not had, we've heard rumors that she's not around anymore. We've not had any more trouble from them. But then there's this idiot Tannister who's suing you guys. But something's wrong with him. He's kind of creepy or something. I'm not sure. So you guys staying here tonight?
Yeah, I like to it. Is that possible? Did you have a ceremony for the Lost Warriors?
We did. We had a ceremony, and we had graveside services also. But if you guys need a place to stay tonight, I mean, there is a guild hall if you just want to stay there. But I can put you up in barracks or someplace nicer if you want to.
I like to go to the inn and bring out my sorrow.
Okay.
And drink for the fallen soldiers in the battle. I didn't do that last time. And I tell him I'm sorry I missed the ceremony.
That's okay. That's understandable. You guys in the guild are a busy crew. And I hope this idiocy from Tannister doesn't cause the guild any real trouble. But he'll point and kind of give direction to the inn for those who don't know it. And then he'll go back over and talk to some of his men who are human, and they kind of smile and nod in your all's direction also. And as you're heading towards the inn, you're pretty much pulling your horses up out front, and you hear a voice behind you sort of scoff, laugh, and say, "Oh, more from the Unassumed Adventurers Guild in town. Just what we need."
Oh, that's good. What is your problem?
It's a fellow with a little thin black mustache, thinning black hair. He's wearing robes, and he's got like books under one arm, and he's just standing there. I mean, there's a few villagers and stuff going about their business here and there, but he's just standing there staring right at you guys, and if he could shoot daggers from his eyes, it looks like he would.
I'm gonna ask him, you want a drink inside the inn? And just invite him in. I do not see he's mad on me because I'm filled with sorrow. So I just invite him to drink with me, and I'm going inside the inn.
Huh. I wouldn't drink with you lot if it was the last day in the world. He kind of throws his head up, puts his nose up in the air. He's like, "That's okay." the guild will be taken care of. And then he sort of saunters on his way with his nose stuck up.
Man,
That's
the
fine.
with
More beer for me.
it's not nice these days.
Inside, yeah, you guys can get either individual. They don't have a lot of business right now, so you guys can either get individual rooms or one big room or several rooms, however you want to do it.
I don't sleep at that table because I would get so drunk.
You can do that too.
Is there
All right.
many of the important people in here now, or?
No, in fact, you guys just about have the place to yourself. There's a couple of guys sitting at the bar, but they don't seem real interested in chatting with anybody but themselves. And there's a bartender and a couple of guys who are sort of working tables, but for the most part, it's kind of a quiet night.
Okay. I asked the innkeeper after the battle, is there any opportunity to invest in a shop here or something like that?
You want to invest in my place or just any place?
Any place or your place, it's up to you. Or you could use my name, Store the Savior, to your inn, and I get a revenue.
Store the Savior. Store the Savior. That's got kind of a nice ring to it. Can I tell everybody that you come here to drink and eat?
Yeah. And I'm gonna meet up 2 times a year.
Give me a persuasion roll.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Okay.
It's a Tawny. Oh my god. What do I have? 9?
He doesn't look real convinced. He's like, it'd be nice, but I don't know if it would bring in that much more business. You know, maybe if you did something really famous, like, I don't know, killed a dragon or something like that.
I almost did, so.
Almost don't quite count. But
I'm gonna show him my dragon tooth of the dragon and say it was my last fight with the dragon.
well, I tell you what,
Nice.
You kill a dragon for sure. Come back and talk to me then. How about that?
Can I get that on paper?
I would, but I don't know how to write.
Okay, that's fine. I said, okay.
You got my word on it.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay.
And I'll tell you what, since you're the famous Store the Savior, your drinks are on the house for the rest of the night.
Yay.
So if you guys want food, they'll serve you up some food, some stew that's been cooking all day long, and some bread and cheese. And however you want to spend the night in a room or on the floor of the main room, nothing untoward happens that night. And it's the next morning. The sun's coming up, unless you're going to get up earlier than that.
I guess by sunrise is okay. At least for oral.
You guys going to head out, or you got other things to do first?
I'm gonna wait up from the table when I have my fuel and other stuff, and I'm gonna walk out and ask the innkeeper. No, I just walk out and loot at the buildings, what they need repairs, if they're not repaired all.
Oh, it's been taken care of already.
Okay, good.
But thanks for any offer of help. I don't know if you guys know, but your buddy Pincus, he actually owns all the mining rights around here. So in a roundabout way, this is kind of a guild town, basically. Him and Federo, the local guild guy, they're sort of in charge around here in a lot of ways. So, you know, and they've done right by us on more than one occasion. I mean, heck, you guys saved us all. So, you know, yeah, we've been taken care of. We're doing fine. But is there anything I can do for you guys or help you with this morning?
No, just spread my name, that's fine.
Okay, I'll let folks know that Store the Savior dropped by here.
Yeah, eat and drink here.
Okay, you eat and drink here.
Well,
And you, go ahead.
no, I was saying that as soon as we are like all gathered together for breakfast and such, or a little bit up, well, what I mean, we're supposed to investigate this guy, but where do we start?
Well, even the bartender can tell you if you're going to, you know, if you're saying this out loud. He'll say Tanister's place is west of town a few miles. There's a little dirt road, head south, go another couple of miles. It used to be farmland, 300 acres of some of the finest farmland around. Now it's just sitting there. And he's got a house and a few barns. You know, what he does there, I don't know. He's supposed to be a merchant, so I guess that's where he keeps his goods at. Couple of times a week, some of his boys come into town with a wagon or two and unload goods and sell them to the local miners. I mean, business-wise, there's not been any problems with him. You know, he seems to be straight up, everything on that. But yeah, something's wrong with this guy. I don't know. For one thing, he's an asshole. But and that little mustache of his, it just makes him look like an asshole.
Must you say? I wonder. I think now I know who gave us that great greeting when we arrived.
Well, he was in town yesterday. I know that. Sometimes he, every now and then, he gets a room here in case he doesn't feel like going back. He pays, but he's a prick about everything. Nothing's ever good enough for him, you know, no matter what it is. And I just tell him, it's like, hey, you're not in Illumina, buddy. Go there if you're wanting the finest that there is. So,
Sorry.
you guys gonna go ahead?
We'll start.
Sorry. I am getting choppy over here. You may have already said it, so maybe I'll sound like a dummy asking it again, but did we find out why his farm or his home wasn't attacked, vandalized?
No, you haven't found out.
Okay.
Not really asked anybody either, though.
I'm going to ask this gentleman that question.
Oh, straight up?
Literally. Just like we've become very friendly with this guy, I think.
Yeah. You know, that's a good question. A few other people have asked that. I don't know nothing for sure. Maybe this guy was in league with the Dark Queen's forces or something. I wouldn't put it past him. I mean, he seems like that kind of guy, you know. But I really don't know for sure. I mean, I've not heard anything definite or nothing like that. But I mean, I've never seen him like or heard him say anything nice about the Dark Queen or anything like that. I just know I've heard him say an awful lot of bad things about you guys, about the guild. Funny, even before the battle, he kind of seemed to have a little bit of a grudge against you guys. He's just like he wasn't real crazy about the guild. But then afterwards, oh yeah, he runs his mouth every time he's in here about, oh, the guild's a threat, and it needs to be disbanded, it needs to be shut down, all its members need to be locked away or hung because of how dangerous they are. But, around here, he's just running his mouth. You guys are good in this town, so.
And he's been in this town for a year, did I hear?
Yeah, give or take. Yeah, he showed up about
from?
a year ago. I don't know. Rumor is he came from further south, but yeah, he just kind of showed up about a year ago.
Who would know?
It's there's like so little information about this guy in general. I mean, I could after a year in town, people will know him better.
He really, I mean, despite coming into town and doing some business, he really doesn't socialize a whole lot, I guess you'd say. Anytime he's running his mouth, it's either usually about business or he's bitching about you guys, one or the other. He doesn't really hang out and talk with us locals a whole lot. Man, as far as who would know more about him, well, it'd kind of be stepping into the lion's den, but he's got a second-hand man, a guy named Gask. But Gask doesn't come to town too often. He usually stays out at the old farm and kind of runs things there when Tannister's not there. Gask probably would know about where Tannister's from, that kind of thing. And Gask is a local guy. He's been around. He's okay, I guess. I mean, he's a little on the shady side, maybe. I've never had any problems with him. Few other people have had a couple of run-ins with him. Gask has a little attitude sometimes, but like I said, I've never had any problems with him. If anybody would know anything about Tannister, I guess it would probably be him. As far as here in town, man, like I said, Tannister doesn't really hang out around here or anything too much, other than doing his business.
I see. Well, thanks a lot. Information. Well, it's to investigate.
Yes, perhaps we need to head into town then.
Well, or into that farmhouse to the west.
Okay. As you guys exit the inn, you can see over by another building. There's a wagon there, and it's got all kinds of box crates, wooden crates in the back of it, and there's a couple of guys there unloading. And the guy who was sort of cursing you from the night before is over there, and it looks like he's giving directions to the guys who are unloading. And about this time, a stable boy is going to bring your all's horses and mules around front.
The guy who was cursing us?
Well, he wasn't exactly cursing, but he was sort of saying, He was the guy who stuck his nose up in the air with a little thin mustache and sort of thin dark hair.
Okay.
And it's still fairly early in the morning. I mean, the sun is up. But yeah, he's over there, like I said, giving directions. And the stable boy walks up and goes, with reins and hands them forward and says, "Here you go." I rubbed them all down good last night. So, what are you guys going to do now?
Anybody got animal handling?
What?
Sorry, any of our fighters have animal handling?
Animal handling? Nope.
I only have +3 to that, but no. I don't have proficiency in that.
Yeah, you guys can ride, but it doesn't sound like there's any expert riders here.
Last time I tried to ride, to charge into battle or something like that, I was kicked out on my horse, so until I get a more comprehensive steed, I think I will prefer to avoid any kind of skill riding.
Yeah, and these are just like riding horses. They're not even war horses or anything.
When I see the guy, I walk up to him. I ask him why he's so rude.
Why am I so rude? You guys destroyed my property. Whole barrel of oil went up, gone, and when it exploded, a bunch of my goods that were on a couple of wagons got burned up. I lost hundreds of gold because of you idiots.
No.
And you almost got us all killed. There's no telling how many city guards died because of you guys.
Now you take it easy or I get mad.
Do what?
I can't
So
take one
you
of
prefer
his
the
trade.
invading army?
Hey, look, just go away. Okay, I don't want to talk to you guys, and you don't want to talk to me.
He just made me mad, so I gotta take his one of his trades. Did I destroy it like this, and I'm gonna throw it down on the floor.
What are you throwing down?
One of the trades he has.
Okay. It will split open, and inside of it are a bunch of miners' picks. And he stomps the ground with a foot. It's like, just go. Just go. Our lawyers will deal with all of this.
Now I've destroyed some of your property.
Yeah, and I'll add it to the lawsuit.
Yeah,
You
do that.
You people are a threat. Going around bothering good citizens like this. I hadn't done anything to you.
I can't made an inside kick.
Are you suing the town guards too?
Yeah, you can make an insight check for whatever you want to find. It's like, no, I'm not suing the town guards. They were doing their job.
And what do you think? And what do you think they were doing? Sure, they may have damaged some of your property, but they were at least trying to fend off the savage races from destroying the city.
Yeah, they are official forces of the city doing their job. You guys are a bunch of money-grubbing mercenaries. If you want to fight, join the military or join a guard somewhere. Do the right way. Not this just running around the countryside, threatening people, destroying their property.
I am in the military. Mr. Nice guy. I rolled a 16. 16.
What is it you're wanting to tell? I mean, he's obviously mad.
Yeah, I want to know about, because he said he was a good citizen and he never did something to us. I want to know, is that true? He didn't.
He has never, as far as you can tell, he has never done anything directly to you guys. But he wants to. I mean, there's definitely murderous intent in his gaze.
Okay.
Anders is going to try to be a voice of reason. Once I get one per mission, one per
Okay.
campaign. He's going to say, guys, maybe we should just walk away from this. And I just kind of sidelong glance at Mr. Mustachio and say, the guild will see you in court.
Yeah, they will. I hope your friend Fletch, your all's friend Fletch, is having a good time in jail too.
How do you
Oh,
know
I
that?
think he is. Strangely enough.
And he will, when Anders sort of steps away, he will turn his back to you guys like he's dismissing you. And he points to one of his men. He's like, clean up this mess. Get this up and out of here. We've got money to be made. And it's kind of a bulky guy. He comes forward and starts picking up the pieces of the destroyed crate and the pickaxes. So what are you guys going to do now?
Actually, are we still like?
You're kind of in the middle of the town street.
Actually, we're just when he does that, Oral will open Divine Sense for a bit to see if he can detect something around.
Like magic?
No, it's like Divine Sense. I think it detects, I don't know, like evil or some kinds of creatures, some things. Let me check it. Divine Sense.
Yeah, your paladin sense, right? To check for
Yeah,
evil, dark fae,
presents
demons.
strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor, blah 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 blah. Yeah, and 60 feet, yeah, detects celestial fiends, undead, fail, things like that. Also, hollow or consecrated or desecrated zones.
You don't detect any creatures for sure. Let me see. Let me double check.
See if he is or any of his wares give like, I don't know, some kind of aura.
You do know this. From him, you definitely get a very bad smell like rotted meat.
Okay.
But you do not detect any undead or anything like or celestials
Yeah, any
or
kind of
fiends
evil.
or anything.
Yeah. You didn't expect it, really. Okay.
But yeah, from here. Okay.
So,
if I, oh, sorry.
as we turn away, Oral will say to the others, this man really is something going on here. I mean, we must really deal with him. I mean,
Perhaps we can talk to the town guard and see what they have to say about him. If he respects the town guard, perhaps they've had encounters with him, and surely they appreciate what you did in the city.
Yeah, but I need to talk with Anders first because out of lane we go home to his place without him be there, right? If he can, and check out his home. And I'm gonna talk to Anders about he to sabotage the cart or the white jump, and so we could get to his place before he could get to his place, if it's possible. And
possible, and that's actually not such a bad idea. Okay, not a bad idea at all. I like the way you think. All right, so DM or DIM for short. How do I make a roll to see what's the best possible angle to, I don't know, pull out a lug nut?
Give me either an investigation or a perception roll, whichever one you prefer. And I'll tell you right now, they're not paying attention to you guys. So as far as stealth goes, I won't even make you a roll. You could. That'll be easy enough.
Nice. Well, perception is one of my expertise skills, so I will roll that. 19 plus 8.
Oh, yeah. You can figure out. If you go over, each of the wheels has like a big pin in it. If you take like kind of a heavy tool, like maybe a dagger or a hammer or something, you can pull one of the pins out. And nobody would notice it at first. But once they get rolling in the cart, it might make it 5 or 10 feet. Then that wheel's going to fall off. And
how many wheels can I pull off like that? I just want to look like a cartoon where all 4 wheels fall off if possible.
You can do all 4. I mean, if you wait around for, I don't know, a half hour or so, eventually the cart will be emptied, and Canister and his Goombas all go inside like a small warehouse, and they just leave the wagon out there. I mean, unless you're doing something like you guys are doing, something really obviously like standing in the middle of the road staring at his wagon. But they're otherwise not paying attention to you. And most of the people, the few villagers in town, they're just coming and going. They're not really paying attention to you guys either. So as long as you're a little slick about it, yeah, you could go around to all 4 tires and pull the pins. No problem.
Okay, will do. And I'm not going to keep the pins on my person, just in case.
Okay.
Just put it in a crate.
And you could guess, especially with all 4 pins, if all 4 tires come off, or even if not all 4, even maybe just one, it's probably, basically the wagon will fall, and it's probably going to end up doing some damage to the wagon. So they're not going to be using this wagon anytime soon, that's for sure, once it happens.
Is there a place that made wagons in this town?
It's not big enough to have like a cart ride or something that like builds wagons. I mean, there may be 1 or 2 people around who have the know-how to do it, but there's nobody professional here.
Okay.
In fact, if somebody wants a new wagon, they'd probably order it from Tanister, more than likely.
Well, unless you're waiting for Anders to somehow feel some sort of guilt, let's let's move to this guy's house. That's what you want to do, right?
Yeah. Just need to do that.
Mind you, Anders is going to keep an active eye out for any kind of Thieves Guild markings anywhere around, and thieves can't.
Sorry, guys, I had a new riding lawnmower just delivered.
Nice. Did you get a lance with it?
No, I didn't get a lance with it. But it is a Hustler lawnmower, so for what good that does me.
Well, it's a good movie. Anyway, okay, so let's yeah, so we did that. Anders is guilt-free because Anders doesn't do guilt or ones. And what do you call it? Yeah, we're going to try and make our way there. And I said that I'm going to try and take an active eye out for any kind of thieves' cant markings anywhere to see if, you know, there's a local thieves guild that Anders didn't previously know about.
And I'm gonna keep an eye out for dragons.
Okay, you're not seeing any
A
dragons.
black dragon.
Anders, give me a perception roll.
Yeah, that's like my second favorite roll to make. Standard. Okay, 12 plus 8. Modified 20.
Okay. In town, you don't see anything, but outside of town, when you guys are heading towards Tannisters, whenever, occasionally there'll be sort of a typical road sign or maybe a mile marker or something like that. And you will notice carved very lightly in the back of some of those, there are some markings that basically say, stay away, this is our territory. Doesn't say who, but yeah, it's kind of a warning.
Okay, I will mention that to the party.
And your roll was good enough. I'll let you know that these very light carvings that you see are fairly recent. Like you would say, probably last 2 or 3 months, maybe even more recent than that. Some of them.
Okay.
And they're not everywhere, and there's not a lot of them. But yeah, somebody like you who's specifically looking for them, you notice them. Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to upset the game, so I'm going to tell you that what I'm basically going to do is, I know that Thieves' Cant, they'll usually let you know where their Thieves Guild is. But that's only if they want to. If they're saying get out, they might say, no. And this is also coming from Advanced 2nd Edition, so yeah,
Okay.
I'm dating myself. But the reason why I'm looking is because I figure if there's any illegal activity going down, these guys are clearly either going to be in on it or know exactly what's up. So, yeah.
There are no markings that says an actuality, like here's where our hall is, or this is where we meet, or this is who we are. You don't see anything like that. But in your very recent travels, and maybe even some other earlier travels, you can tell that all the markings you see are close to and around Ando Tirion. But there's nothing specifically that says, hey, yeah, we meet every Wednesday at the such and such hall in Ando Tirion, or this is who we are. There's nothing like that, but you would guess somebody's doing something around Ando Tirion. That would be your guess. If that helps you any.
It does. If it ever comes up and it's ever close by, Anders is going to want to take a stop by and talk to one of the boys and see if they can give us some kind of information. That's just on my mind.
Okay. All right, so where are you guys headed, or what are you doing?
Going to his house without him follow us.
Okay. Yeah, as you're leaving, as you're riding out of town, you definitely hear a few loud bang sounds back from behind you. You can't see it because you're far enough away. Then you hear some shouts, and you hear a whole lot of cursing. And you even hear somebody, that damn guild. And you hear more than a few wood splintering sounds also. And as you're riding west, yeah, you go a few miles, and there's an obvious dirt road that you don't even have to make a check for. It's obviously been traveled numerous times by wagons. Not only are there horse or animal tracks, but the wagons have been through here enough times that they've left like ruts in the road whenever it's rained or been wetter weather. And once you're off the main road and onto this dirt road, I mean, yeah, you can't miss it. It goes through a field that is overgrown. That probably at one time was pretty good farmland, but now it seems to be overgrown with weeds and grass and So a few small trees that are starting to come up. And in the ground here, there are not walls in this area. But there are kind of low rolling hills. And there's not a lot of like trees because this was obviously farmland and cleared off at some point. But you can see in the distance this dirt road you're on. It goes up and down a little bit and around a few hills. But kind of far off, like almost a mile away to the south, you can see a building that might be a house. You'll know more if you get closer. But you can also tell behind it looks like several other larger buildings, maybe barns or warehouses or something along those lines. From where you're at, you don't see any kind of activity or people moving around. And there's definitely nothing, there's nobody working the fields or anything like that. Depending on how you guys proceed, I'll let you know more information.
I'm gonna say to the party it's a waste of good land, this place.
Oh, it's most definitely that.
And
it's sizable. It's about 300 acres of what was once farmland that's now just growing up.
It would be good to make a deal, what we call a training camp here, or something like that. But waste of land.
No, it might be for something like that. So how are you guys planning to proceed? You going to ride right in, or?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna ride right in.
I don't really have much options coming to stealth. I mean, we could say I can't say I excel at it. Yeah, to put it.
Well, as you guys are getting closer, give me whoever is paying attention or looking ahead, give me like perception roll.
10.
26.
10.
Well, Anders will definitely notice before anybody else does. As you guys are riding maybe 100 yards out from the house, first you'll notice the three buildings that are behind the house are like barns. And they're old, but they seem to be like they've been reworked a little bit. They've been painted, they've been kept up, that kind of thing. And back among those barns, there is a lone figure, and with that roll, you can tell it's either a half-orc or an orc. I mean, it's a big, bulky figure. And he's carrying a spear, and he's carrying a spear in his right hand, and his left hand is a big chain, big, thick chain. And the other end of this chain is a really big dog. I mean, it's huge. It's probably 200, 250 pounds. It's just a massive dog. And at first, he is just this bulking figure, and this dog are kind of just like walking around. And then both their heads kind of snap in your all's direction. And they turn and start walking towards you. They're not walking slow, but they're not really like rushing either. They're coming forward somewhat briskly, and they're, like I said, they're still 100 yards off. You don't see anybody else. But again, Bill, because of the roll Anders got, from the house you hear nothing. You see no signs of movement. But from the nearest barn, which is about 60 feet behind the house, you can hear some movement going around in there. Some of it, again, has a wooden sound to it. Some of it's men grunting like they're working. But this orcish figure and his big dog are heading in your all's direction.
I'm going to mention to the guys, in case they didn't notice, and say, boys, best behavior and indicate exactly what you just said.
Okay. Are you all stopping or still riding forward?
I'm gonna jump down from a mule and walk against them without any weapon drawn.
Okay.
To be
Well,
nice.
the big guy and the dog, when they see you guys are still coming forward, they will stop at the house, in front of the house. And he just sort of stands there and rests his spear like he's waiting for you all to get closer. And when you get up to him, yeah, this is a big, ugly-looking orcish guy. And he'll say in common, "What business do you have here?"
Looking for housing.
This place isn't for sale. Turn around and go back the way you came.
We're coming from the guild.
From the guild?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all fucking dead.
All initiative.
Yeah, he doesn't raise his weapon, but his hand kind of tightens on the spear and on the chain. What do you want here?
I'll just sit things out, I think.
You're not welcome here. You need to turn around and leave. Otherwise, I'll have to stick Tippy here on you.
TP?
That's right, Tippy.
I'm gonna say to the orc, you're like a man of fighting, right? So we could take a pitch side and see who's gonna win. And if I'm gonna win, I just stay here as long as I want. If you're gonna win, I'd never come again.
You know what? Give me either a persuasion or intimidation roll. He kind of grins at your offer.
21. Intimidation.
He kind of blinks. He's like, okay, yeah, we can do this. He kind of turns his head to one side, says, "Hey, boys, there's going to be a show." And a couple of seconds later, two humans come around from the barn in the back. One of them is fairly young, maybe early 20s. The other one is definitely older, probably in his late 40s, early 50s. They're both wearing leather armor. The older man has a mace hanging from his belt on a cord. The other one, the younger one, he's just carrying a club, but he has two leather leashes, and attached to that are two more great big dogs. And they come around and they sort of set up behind the orc near the house. And the orc turns back around and he'll point his spear at you. He's like, "All right, let's do this."
Okay, as those guys are coming, sorry, the description was long. I couldn't
That's
interrupt.
all right.
Anders does want to do his Heidi thing behind, let's say, Javier's character, behind the paladin.
Yeah, that's fine. I won't even make you roll. There's horses and everything.
Do the dogs just look like mastiffs, or do they look monstrous in some way?
No, they look like mastiffs.
Okay.
So do the orc want a fist fight or with weapons?
You gonna ask him?
Yeah, weapons or fists?
Weapons.
Okay.
And he's got leather armor on and his spear.
I'm gonna pull out my pike.
Okay.
Say mine is better than yours.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not the size, buddy. It's how you use it.
Always a small one gonna say that.
It's small, but it's fierce.
I'm just laughing.
It's ferocious. And he kind of gives a hand signal and then drops the chain. And the big mastiff is suddenly that he was holding is free, and Store, it's charging towards you. So we probably ought to enter an initiative. Ooh.
I thought it was one-on-one.
It is one-on-one. The mastiff's his weapon.
So do you want initiative from everybody or just Store?
If you're going to become involved, you think, roll initiative.
I rolled a 20 on the die. 21.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I got a
14
10.
for Oral, although I don't know if he's going to intervene, but well, in case it happens.
Okay. Well, Store, you got it. The doggy is is charging right at you.
I'm gonna yell, what the fuck? And I'm gonna spear or pike the dog.
Okay, give me a roll to hit.
That is 21.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
I'm gonna use one of my superior dice to prone the dog. That must be this. That is 18 damage, and I need to make a strength check on.
No, he doesn't need to make a strength check because as he jumps in the air and it's lunging at you, you bring your pike up and you basically skewer this dog in midair. And since you were trying to make it prone, when you lower your pike, it slides off the end of your pike. And it's prone, and it's dead.
And I'm gonna say to him, are we gonna fight or not?
He will shout, "You son of a bitch, you killed Tippy!" And he will charge forward with his spear. And he got a 16. Does that hit you?
Yeah, just.
Okay. Oh, he does 4 points of damage to you. Oral, it would be your turn if you're going to do anything. Anders, Devlin.
Having seen Store go face to face, head to head with a dragon, Devlin is not worried at all about him taking care of this orc filth. So he'll just kind of sit back on his horse and take it in.
Okay. Everybody give me perception rolls real quick.
Also me?
Yeah, you might notice this.
I have 23.
Jeez. Okay, well, Anders and the Store will definitely notice. The older guy in the back who does not have the dogs, he's bringing around like a sack that was tied on the back of his belt. He's bringing around this sack and he's sticking his hand inside of it. He hasn't pulled anything out. He hasn't done anything like that. It's almost like he's not even looking at the fight. He just opens this sack and sticks his hand inside of it.
Is the sack loot empty or full?
Really neither. There's something in it, but it's not like stuffed full. And Store, it's back to your turn again. This guy hit you.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him back.
Okay.
I'm gonna use inspiration just to be sure. I'm not gonna hit anything. I'm gonna use my action surge. 2 twos.
Oh.
I'm gonna use my action surge.
Okay.
I try to hit him again with a 1 more inspiration.
Okay.
Now I'll waste all my inspiration. That's good. 11? No, 12.
You actually miss him. Just barely.
Okay.
He'll duck out of the way and is like, huh, I thought you guild types were some kind of good fighters. And he's going to try to poke you again with his spear. I'm sure 10 will miss. And anybody else want to do anything?
I'll yell, come on, Store, you can do better than that.
All right, Store, it's your turn again then.
Now I'm mad because I'm missing him. So I pray to my goddess. And I'm gonna cast Divine Favor on my weapon.
Okay. Anything else? Bonus action?
Yeah, that is a bonus action.
Okay.
And I'm gonna attack him.
Okay.
A fucking bomb.
Well, apparently your god's not paying attention. He's laughing now, and he's going to try to hit you with another spear. He got a 15. Does that hit?
Nope.
Okay. The end of his spear clanks off your armor. Anyone else doing anything? You will notice that the older guy in the back who reached inside the sack, he now pulls out of the sack. It's like a earthen jar. It's about the size of, let's say, an American football. So it's got a little size to it, and he's just kind of holding it in his hands.
What a year?
Store, it'll be your turn again. Oh, question?
Yeah.
Store, it's your turn again.
What do you say?
No, what was that, Javier?
No, you said he pulled like. But said another thing. I don't think got the other word.
It's like a earthen jug or
Okay.
canister, I guess you'd say, with a top on top of it that screws off. And he's just, I mean, it almost looks like, a funerary urn. He's just sort of sitting there holding it for a second. And, Store, it's your chance to shine again.
Yeah. Oh, a 19.
You're going to hit him.
And I'm gonna try to brawn him too. And because I use my Divine Favor, I have a D4 also.
Okay.
So that is 19 damage.
Okay.
And one is the Radiant damage.
What's the DC on the prone?
I think it's 14.
He beats it, but just barely.
Okay.
But he still takes the damage. He's pretty strong. On his turn, he's taking a bonus action.
Why?
And he's healing himself a little bit. And then he's going to try to poke you with his spear again. Does a 16 hit you?
Yeah, just.
Okay. Ooh, well, 11 points of damage.
That's fine.
So he gets a pretty good thrust in on you that time. And If somebody else is doing anything, let me know. The guys in the back are just watching.
Well, actually, Oral right now seeing the other guy bringing out that thing, he will again just open with his action. He opened his divine sense. You see, he's not anything around because I can just teleport.
The half orc is definitely a bad guy, and the older guy holding the little earthen jug is definitely a bad guy. I mean, you're getting a stench off of both of them. The younger guy holding the dogs, you're not getting that impression from.
And of the jar itself, I feel anything from it?
No.
Okay. Okay. That's...
Oh well. What all can you detect again with that?
What the kind of creatures you mean, or what are you asking? It only
can...
says evil, also a strong evil or powerful good, or then yeah, it's less than that.
No, you don't detect anything like that from the jar.
And yeah, well, consecrated or desecrated areas.
Yeah, no, it's not anything like that. Storage, your shot again.
Try to kill him this time. 20.
That'll hit.
I try to throw him one more time. That is only 16.
Okay. You hit him, and he goes down to his knees, and he looks in really bad shape. He's prone. He's going to use his turn to climb back up to his feet again. And that will be his action now. Anyone else want to do anything?
I'll just cheer on Store.
At this point, when he goes down and climbs back up, in the back, you'll see the old guy, he'll say, "Screw this," and he's starting to unscrew the lid on this jar he's got. And the young guy next to him, the guy that's holding the horse, he suddenly looks over at the jar and his eyes get really big. Store, it's your shot.
Can I roll to attack?
Sure. Who are you attacking?
Okay. The guy with the jar. I want to sneak attack with an arrow. Right.
Okay.
Plus 8. And this is with advantage, fortunately. 15.
Yeah, that hits him.
Sweet. Oh, shoot, so you need damage.
And I don't remember if Anders is an assassin. He wasn't in combat yet, so...
No, I'm not an assassin, I'm a thief.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, standard... 3, 7, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. 20 points of damage.
Oh, gosh. Okay, you hit him, and he's still standing, this arrow sticking out of his chest, and he drops this earthen jug. He's like, "You dumb bastards." And the jug hits the ground. It does not crack open. But he is still standing. But go ahead.
Can I take my move and my bonus action to run up and snatch it away from him and move as far back closer to the party as I can?
You can. He and the guy next to him will probably have attacks of opportunity on you.
I'm okay with that.
And the two dogs. Okay.
Oh. Dogs too.
Run forward. You're darting forward. Anders is darting forward. Give me a... It doesn't have to be that good, but give me a dex roll to grab up this thing.
Just straight dex. Okay.
You can use, if you want to use acrobatics or something like that, you can.
Oh, how about athletics?
Athletics is
Oh,
fine.
no. Sorry. You know what? They're actually both the same. Okay, excellent, good. Then, I got an 11.
You've got it in your hands. You're kind of juggling it like a ball player a little bit, but you've got it in your hands. And as you're turning to run away, they're going to get attacks of opportunity on you.
Okay. He's 17.
Okay, the guy you shot and is hurt, he doesn't even draw his mace. He's just going to try to kick out at you, and he'll miss. And the other guy will drop the leash and let the dogs loose. And he's going to take out a club and swing at you. And he'll miss. And the two dogs are going to bounce in your direction. And these dogs are definitely bigger than Anders is. The first one's going to miss. He like jumps into the air, but you're small enough that he lands next to you. Ooh, the other one gets a natural 20.
So close!
Yeah.
Close.
So he does 6 points of damage to you. Basically, he rakes your side. And give me a strength save.
Oh, come on, a strength save.
Yes. Yes, a strength save.
Huh? Okay, -1 to whatever the hell I roll, and I roll a 7, so 6.
You're knocked prone.
That's actually beautiful, because I'm just weaving and dodging, I'm looking good, I'm like, this one's for you, champ, and then just blindsided.
Yep. You got tackled from the side.
That's
down.
awesome.
Top of the round, Store, it's your turn.
I'm gonna use a bonus action to set and win.
Okay.
That's 5 hit points. No, it's not 5. How much is the 6. My bad math. And I'm gonna hit him. Try to hit him again. That is an 18 to hit.
Oh, that'll hit him.
And I see prone didn't do anything against him, so I tried to disarm him this time.
Okay.
And that was my last superior dice. And I do like 19 damage from him.
Okay.
And 4 of them is a radiate damage.
As you go to disarm him, you basically tear off his whole hand. And he pulls back a stub that's spurting blood all over the place. And he stares at the stub. And his eyes roll back in his head. And he stands there shaking for a second. But then his eyes kind of clear up and he just glares at you. And with his left hand, which is the only one he's got left, he reaches down back behind his back and he pulls out a dagger and he's going to try to hit you with it. No, he misses big time. He slashes out and misses. And Oral, if you're going to do something, it's now your go.
Yeah, I mean, it's going down, so I think, or wait for his start, and did I think the guy that and to hit down pretty bad.
Which guy?
In that it's going down.
Which guy was it? You were kind of breaking up there.
Oh, wait. He will go and put him down.
Maybe write it in the chat because I'm still not hearing you very well. Let me see if there's. Yeah, but
Maybe I need to refresh Hangout.
which one are you trying to hit, though? Because none of them have swords.
No, I mean, I'm hitting with my sword the
Yeah, but which one are you
guy
trying to
that
hit?
hit Anders.
Oh, it was the dog. Okay, you can go ahead and.
The one that hit him.
Okay, go ahead and roll the hit.
Ah, it was the dog. Shit, the dog. I forgot. It was the dog. 9 plus 15.
Oh, you hit him. Roll your damage.
Nine plus 4, 13 points of damage.
Okay, you rush forward, and your sword skewers this poor little defenseless animal's side, and goes in and takes its life. And it's so big and heavy, it almost falls on prone Anders, but instead it hits the ground next to him, and actually is heavy enough to shake the ground a little bit. Anders, it's now your action.
Get up and continue running. And a quick thumbs up to to my buddy who just saved me from the crushing dog.
Okay. Okay, you get up and you run out. Devlin, it's now your turn.
Alright, I dismount from my horse and I approach the boy with the dog, and I say to him, "Stand down. This is an honorable duel. We don't need any more bloodshed." And I motion for him to back off with the dog, and I'll just cast Blade Ward upon myself.
Okay, give me an intimidation roll.
Alright, let me see what I got. Alright, that is going to be particularly terrible with a 2.
Okay, yeah, he beat that. So when you say this to him, he kind of grins, looks at the dog, and says, "Sick him, Fido." And that's exactly what's going to happen. The last of the big dogs is going to jump towards Devlin, and it only got a 12. I'm guessing that doesn't hit Devlin.
Nope.
Okay, so it bounces in your direction but comes up short. The older fellow who kicked out at Anders and lost his jar, he's now going to break out his mace. And he will rush forward and take a swipe at Oral, who just killed a dog. And he got a 13. Does that hit Oral?
13, no.
I didn't think so. And the young man who was with the dog, he's got a club, and he's going to run forward and hit Devlin. Yeah, he got a 19. I'm pretty sure that does hit.
It would hit, but I'll cast Shield.
Okay. Yeah, it would definitely miss then. And we're back at the top of the turn. Store. You've got a crazed one-handed half-orc in front of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to kill him again.
He's bleeding all over the place.
I try to stop his bleeding with my pipe.
Okay.
What did I roll? I roll a 16 plus 22.
Oh, you hit him.
And let me see what my damage is. 9 damage. Piercing damage.
Describe how you kill this guy.
I'm gonna fight him in his. I don't know. I'm gonna fight him in his open wound and
Okay.
just destroy his arm so he bleed out.
Okay. Yeah,
And
he
af-
definitely.
and after I'm gonna yell, "Stop! I want the duel. Be allowed to be here."
Oral, it's your turn. Can you hear me, Javier?
Hmm?
It's Oral's turn.
Oh yeah, I just refreshed. Yeah, I got to like cut. Okay, Orlan's turn. So he will. I guess he will attack the scene. This is they really insist on fight, and he will hit the closest one to him
Did you hear what Store
because they.
said?
I think no. I mean, yeah, I just refreshed because as I was having problems with the sound,
Okay.
I
Just in
refreshed and
case.
yeah,
Just in
I
case
lost
it.
half his.
Okay. Just in case it affects your action, Store said something like, well, go ahead and tell him what was it you said.
I yell, "Stop! I want the duel." I yell that.
Okay. And now, Oral, it's your turn.
Okay, then he will just like still with his sword out. He will kind of lay it down, but still like airing at the others that are left like menacingly. But that's it. And well, he will like ready his. So if any of them tries to still attack of any of us, he will hit him back.
Okay. Anders, it's your turn.
All right. Anders is going to try and secure this jar as much as possible. And is anybody seem like they're about to come towards me to retrieve this thing?
No. But the older guy is definitely staring at you. But he
All right.
doesn't look like he's coming towards you.
Okay. This is going to sound weird, but I'm going to try and go for a non-lethal blow with my bow on that guy. Non-lethal in the sense of I want to shoot him in the leg.
Okay.
All right. So.
He's pretty easy to hit.
Okay, cool. Because I rolled a 17, so I'm
Yeah.
over 20, whatever it is, plus
Yeah,
8.
you
There we
hit
go.
him.
Okay. I do not get my sneak attack because I'm away from other party members. So 8 points of damage.
Oh, yeah. He takes an arrow to the knee and drops to the ground. And he's still conscious, but just barely. And
So he can be a town guard in Skyrim now.
exactly. Yeah, before I happened, shot him. Devlin, it would be your turn.
Alright, with Store saying to stand down, I kind of feel like it's echoing what I said last time, and they didn't really respond to it. But I don't want to step on his moment of glory, so I'll take the dodge action and continue to just say, stand down, this fight is won.
Okay. The young guy who's left will kind of lunge to the ground and grab the leash of the one dog that's still living, and he pulls back on the dog, and he's standing there with his club, like he's not attacking, but he's like, okay, if anybody comes forward, they're going to get whacked, and he's just kind of standing there. So, anybody want to do anything? Like kill this last guy off or anything?
No, he's not
The old guy, I like
doing
to heal
anything.
him if I can. The old guy. But is the combat finished?
We're out of rounds at the moment, unless you guys are doing something.
I'm gonna make sure the old guy gonna live. The guy with arrow to knee, and I'm gonna.
He's going to live.
Yeah, I'm
Just
gonna just
barely.
heal him a bit because show as I'm not out to show as a good fate. I'm gonna heal him with my bandage. I have to feed healer. So I'm gonna heal him for, how much is that? 6 plus the 4 plus his level. So 9 plus his hit dice.
Okay.
And say, we are not coming to war, but I need to be here, so I'm sorry about your offering.
The old guy kind of backs to the house and leans against it and sort of uses the house to pull himself up to standing, though he's still limping with an arrow from one knee. Though his overall wounds are a little better. What do you all want here?
Oh, I got this one. Mission report, December 16th, 1991.
Well, let's see. Let's see, 1991. Oh, I would have been in college still. Okay. Had to think
He
about
went
that.
to college.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, I was in school still then.
anyway, so buddy, what do you say you give us a tour of that barn over there?
The barn?
Yeah, where you guys were holed up in. Let's see what you're doing in there.
Okay. He starts limping towards the barn. The young guy with the dog is just sort of backing out of your all's way. Like, just staying out of the way. But the old guy's limping towards the barn. And the old guy's kind of sort of muttering under his breath, but just loud enough for you to hear. It's like, Tannister was right about these guys. They're just murderers. They killed Hulda, and now they come here and they're going to steal everything.
Yeah, Javier, could you come with me? And somebody or other two guys watch this guy with the dog? Or let's just all go. I don't know. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, or I mean, if you request him, yeah, he will go with Anders.
If you want me to stay here and watch him, I'll watch him.
And Store just go inside the main house and look around.
The main house, real quick, it's obvious it was a farmhouse at one time. There's the usual kitchen with a brick stove in it and that kind of thing. One thing you will notice, I mean, there's bedrooms and stuff. One thing that's a little out of the usual inside the house is sort of in a main living area. There's one wall with several statues. There's like 6 statues. They're not huge, full-size statues, but they're about 3 foot tall. They're kind of lined up against a wall, and they're all sort of like mythological figures. Like one is Pegasus, another is a unicorn, one is a Medusa, and they're like marble or some kind of stonework.
Not gold?
Do what?
It's not made out of gold?
No, they're not made out of gold. They may still have some value to them, though. They're pretty nice works. But those are definitely stand out. Outside, the old guy hobbles the 60 feet back to the barn, and there's a door open there. And inside the barn, you'll notice to the right, there's kind of like an area that's kind of got like wooden fencing around it. It's obvious from the smell this is where the dogs are kept when they're kept inside. There is a cart in the middle of the barn that's empty at the moment. There's no animals attached to it. And the rest of the barn is mostly crates of different sizes. Some of them are stacked up. There's a couple on the floor that look like they've been moved around. There's a couple that are open. One of them has like a bunch of bags of flour inside of it, and another one that's open actually has like a dozen daggers inside of it. So that the old man limps up and he pushes the door the rest of the way open, and he's like, What is it you want? Are you here to take everything?
Actually, that was never our intent. Our intent was to simply investigate. Wasn't exactly expecting this lovely welcome.
You're from the guild.
Anyway.
You show up here. You murder my friend. He told you to leave and you didn't. What else was he supposed to do? He was the hired security for this place.
And he didn't identify himself. All he saw was a bandit on the side of the road, which we've had to encounter before today, or yesterday, and we were simply attacked. That's all it was.
Okay.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, what's this jar?
The jar? That's it's got my drink in it.
Really? So you're saying that if I throw it down at your feet, you'll drink it?
If you threw yeah. If you give it to me, I'll drink it.
No, I mean break it open at your feet.
No, don't do that. That would be a ruin of that would be a waste of good liquor. That's Grandpappy's old shot. Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks. Because if this really is liquor, I'm just going to feel nothing but foolish. Investigation is +6. Modified 20.
Oh, he's lying his ass off.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Okay, I have expertise for persuasion, and my intimidation sucks anyway. I'm short. So, may I attempt to persuade him to tell me the truth?
You can. How do you want to do it?
Okay.
Yeah, you do describe what you do, and
listen.
he will see what you roll.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, here comes the RP set portion of the day. Darn it. Last time I did this, I wound up becoming a gay character. Please look for an older Unnamed Adventures Guild campaign for that live audience. Charles is watching live. He's laughing his ass off.
Probably.
And Dan over here was the DM for that mission, so I know he's laughing. Okay, so I'm going to say, listen, buddy. Look, I understand that there was a problem here. We both had a miscommunication, but I'm being serious here. Unless you want me to simply destroy this thing, I really want you to tell me just what it is, okay? And whoa. I rolled an 18 plus 7. That's a 25.
When you say
and that
that,
all hangs on my RP.
It also depends on what he rolled. When you say that,
true.
for a second, it almost looks like he's getting ready to open up, and then a big grin smiles on his face, and he's like, "Go ahead, take it out, bust it on the ground. Let's see what happens."
I think he's trying to intimidate me, and it's working.
No.
Well, it's working regardless. Because his eyes actually went wide. Maybe our fighter will. Huh?
Yeah, he looks happy all of a sudden. Let me put it that way.
This guy was one of
I'm just gonna
the evil ones, like the one I felt
yes,
before, because
he
I
was.
2 or 3. Oh shit.
Yeah. Christopher, you followed Javier and I in here?
No.
He went in the house.
Oh,
Yeah,
shoot, we're separated in different parts?
It's only oral Oral and Anders here with this guy.
Yeah, and Devlin is watching the younger gentleman and the dog outside.
Yeah, in the field.
Who is not? You're all still within. I mean, the house is only 60 feet from this barn, so I mean, you're all still relatively close to one another, and you can probably hear what's going on and stuff.
Yeah, I'll just meander over a little bit and be like, "Hey, man, what happens if I throw this at you and your dog?"
You say this to the young guy.
Yeah.
Again, his eyes get wide. He's like, to tell you the truth, I don't really know. I just know it's something bad. That's all I know.
Okay. I'm going to proceed to get as fresh a grass as I can and wrap it up in a sackcloth and invent duct tape and tie this thing up real tight. I'll bring it back to the guild for further investigation.
When the old guy sort of sticks his head out the barn and sees you doing that, he's like, "Oh, so you're going to steal from us too? Murder and thievery, all in the same day, on private property."
Yes, added to the charges.
Where you expect people to identify themselves, on their own property.
Yeah. Once again, I don't roll ones with guilt.
Okay, store's going to carry a statue outside of the house.
No, this is going to look good.
Yeah. It is heavy, but store's strong enough to do it. It's like a 3-foot-tall statue of a Medusa.
I want the Petertus.
Do what?
The Petertus. The horse with the wings.
Oh, okay. Okay, you got the horse, the wings then. Okay, he's carrying that outside. It appears to be made of a white marble with a slightly reddish pinkish vein rolling through it.
And I'm gonna say, is that not looking good outside my house when I get a house?
The old guy's face just kind of sinks a little more. He's like, "Man, and I thought Tannister hated you guys before. Now it's just going to get worse. So, I guess, okay, you got what you came for. Are you leaving, or are you going to murder us too?"
Okay, we really do need to rein this in. This is really getting out of control. Like, I just really want to know what this thing was. Okay, I'm gonna just walk away. I don't think this could get any worse with with these guys. I'm gonna walk around and start just investigating the place and seeing what's up.
There are, just as a reminder, there are 2 more barns further back. If anybody cares.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way back there also. Investigating what I can.
Aurel will say, "Can you give me that jar a moment?"
What?
The jar?
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted the jar? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I want to. And Aurel will try, like, he was intrigued by this jar, so he wants to try to discern what it is or what might it contain.
How are you going about that?
I don't really know, really. I don't know. I have some things that can. I
We've
don't
got a
know.
mate outside.
What do I see? I want to look around it, like, I don't know, feel it around and like observing the jar itself, and then I don't know. If there's anything notable about the jar itself?
Hey, Devlin, give me I guess a stone history roll. Devlin's looking at it also.
Well, if they bring it back over to me, I'm in the field, so I haven't had a chance to look at it. If I can.
Yeah, I'm going to say you're all close enough, but the guy with the dogs is not. I mean, he's going to stay. You're all fairly close to each other, so I mean, he'll even come forward a little bit because he's kind of interested in the jar too.
So let's see, that would be a 19 plus 5, so a 24.
Okay.
Things that are earthen interest me.
It's not dwarven work, you know that, but it is very old. And it would seem to you to be one, a container for liquid, but not just, I mean, it's not just something you keep like water in or whatever. Um,
Do you want me to do an Arcana too?
If somebody wants to do one, I mean, it looks like it would be an item that would somehow be related to magic or hold some kind of magic item.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
My Arcana is only a 13.
Oh, wow. Shoot. Well, I'm intelligent, but I don't actually have Arcana as a skill, so I'm +3.
I'm +5,
Can I-
but I only rolled an 8.
I'd say you
Okay,
could
then
roll
how
on it.
about if I give you an advantage?
If you want to roll again,
Alright, I'll roll another one.
Anders would be experienced enough, even without the skill, that he's kind of familiar with magic things and stuff.
That'd be a 17.
You can't tell for sure exactly what this is, but it definitely looks like it's a magical receptacle. Again, not that itself is necessarily magic, though it might be. I'm not going to tell you that without somebody casting Detect Magic, but it more than likely.
Oh, that's all you want?
Oh, excellent.
Okay, I can do it as a ritual.
Oh.
You could have started by that.
But hey, you're the guys with the spells. You got to tell me what spell you're casting. Right.
No, I meant to him, not to you, Ty.
Oh, okay.
So if you'll give me a minute, I can look into this further. I have some suspicions about it, but I'm not sure. I haven't been out and seen something quite like this.
Yeah, it's definitely something unusual. Even for, like, if it's a magical item, even for magical items, it's definitely something different.
Alright, I'll start the 10-minute ritual. Really all that does is tell me auras and tell me if it's magical and tell me the school.
I'll go ahead and tell you. Yeah, it's definitely magical, and it's School of Conjuration.
And I also have Identify I can do as a ritual, but I think I have a pretty good idea of what it might be. So I'll turn to the others when the ritual's done and say, I sense power within this urn, and I feel as if this earthen jar might summon something or release something if it were opened.
Yeah,
Something like what?
it'll release Granddaddy's liquor.
And I shoot him a dirty look.
Shut up.
Roll to hit when you shoot that.
So Anders is going to go around and look at the other barns.
Yeah, everything that I can see.
They are closed up. Are you going to go inside or anything, or not bother with it?
Yeah,
They're
I
not
would
locked.
actually
The
like.
doors are just shut.
There's no locked doors with me.
Well, yeah.
Actually, I would like Javier to go also because his detection abilities.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I guess if you ask politely, or we'll tag along one more time.
The first barn, or actually it's the second barn of the three that you come to and you open it up. It's kind of the same thing. There's a wagon inside of it. There's a bunch of crates, some tools, cooking goods, things like that. The third barn you come to, it's the one furthest away from the house, and it's definitely different. The inside of it is empty, except for three things. In the middle of the barn is a big stone slab that's about 2.5 feet tall, maybe 4 or 5 feet wide, and it goes back about 3 feet. and it's definitely old. It's kind of chipped here and there. And on top of this stone slab is a really dark stain. It's just really blackish.
I knew it! I knew it! He's sacrificing chickens!
Behind this
Oh,
big stone block, there is, at first, you kind of get surprised and almost draw weapons. There's a 7-foot figure that at first looks very real, but then you realize, I ain't going to go through all of it, you realize it's a statue. It's a stone statue, black marble, of an armored figure, heavily like plate mail armor, and in the middle of his chest is a red gem about the size of a fist. Or a human fist. It's a pretty good sized red gem, and there's a little reddish light glowing from that gem. The third thing that's in the...
Do we recognize this figure anyhow? Does it resemble anything we might know or have heard of?
I don't remember where... Was Oral at the adventure where the Dark Queen died and the dragon was chasing people through the woods?
Sorry, was Oral where?
Was Oral at the adventure where a dragon was chasing people through the woods? Yeah, but I see Store.
Yeah, he was there.
But Store's not at the Oral was there?
I was there, yeah.
You
yeah,
saw...
when the dragon appeared, we were with two halflings and all that.
Okay. I don't really remember if Oral would have seen this or not. He probably would have. There was a guy there who looked just like this armored figure, including the scarlet gem in the chest. You remember that for sure. And at the foot, at the foot of this statue is a small wooden chest, and the lid is shut on it, and maybe it's locked or maybe it's not.
I don't care.
Okay, so...
If Oral has anything like history or religion, he can roll on that, and that might tell him who or what this statue is.
Okay, I have his nature and religion, so yeah, I will roll. And that's an 11.
Can you roll with advantage? Because I have that also.
Sure, roll again.
Okay. Well, that's cocked. A lot better. 19.
Yeah, this is a statue of Lord Darzanan. He's a really bad, evil god who basically god of chaos who wants to kill and destroy everything, more or less. He was the one who, technically, he's the one who took the life of the Dark Queen. And just to reiterate that, chaotic evil god.
So, nice.
And this is a statue of him.
Yeah.
So this is the guy
with
that put
glowing
Fletch
thing
into
in the
a
middle.
deep depression.
So this is like some kind of improvised temple of this guy?
It could be.
Great. So indeed, since there was something, we need to prove.
Come on, you're telling me that there's a little like a wooden chest there, and Anders doesn't want to open it up and see what's in the inside?
You know, if it's got hinges, it counts as a door, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, it does have hinges on the back.
Yeah.
Okay,
all right.
Oral will use his divine sense again.
Thank you.
Oh, not from the chest, and not necessarily from the altar, but from the statue. Yeah, there's evil all over this thing. It's like an awful, one of the worst stenches you've ever smelled.
All right. Let's
Okay, well,
check
but nothing
the
from the chest.
other.
Okay.
You want to open the chest?
No, just was confirming that he said nothing from the chest. No, Oral has no intention of doing such. I leave that for you, don't worry.
But after I carry out the statue, I'm probably gonna find the other guys.
Okay. Well, if you go back to the barn, that's where Anders and Oral will be at. Devlin's sort of doing guard duty. The old guy that's still got an arrow in his leg is grumbling and cursing under his breath. And the young guy with the dog is kind of looked like he's in shock to a certain extent.
I'm gonna ask, what do you call it, Anders. Are we not collecting my victory treasure and going? Take the wagon and go? Because I won. I need to have a trophy or something.
Okay, we need to stop with this trophies thing because we're already in hot water as it looks. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get the guild out of trouble. We're trying to get Fletch out of prison. We got to stop. Oh, let's see if there's a big.
Hey, Anders, I have an idea what you do. Anders?
Trophy later. Everything can't be a trophy right now.
No, Anders, I have an idea. You just take the dagger and stab a little bit in the odor and plant it on the, what do you call it, plant it on the guy and blame him for killing his own guy. Done. Case closed, and we gonna go in court and blame him for murder. That's easy. And we get treasure.
So what are you guys going to do?
Can you carry the treasure?
Did any of the
chest?
other guys follow us to this barn with the bad guy and such?
That's a bad idea, but that's just so.
They didn't go back to the barn.
Uh-huh.
They're staying up by the house.
Oh.
And as far as the chest goes, it's up to somebody picking it up whether they can carry it or not.
I do that.
Okay. You go over, you pick up the little chest. I mean, it's not very big, and it's a little heavy. You can carry it, but it's a little heavy.
Can I open?
We need to take proof of this. Is something really bad going on here. I mean, this place smells of evil, like thing of my life.
Okay, Anders.
Anders?
Let's see. He's got something in the chat over here. Intimidation roll.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, my intimidation sucks, so can I make somebody else intimidate him?
I'm pretty. I have 4+.
Willing to try with my -1.
Well, you can all try it, for that matter.
I'd rather do persuasion if I can. There's some evil stuff going down. All of the gods, like Somebody's
Okay.
going down for this.
You can do persuasion. You put it like that.
Teen.
What'd you get?
18.
Okay. He basically, his view of you does not seem to improve any. He basically says, look, this is Tannister's place. He's a merchant. We keep his goods here. We sell them to people. That's it. That's all that's going on here. All right. As far as what you guys found in the other barn back there, yeah, there's that big creepy statue. That was ordered by a client. She never came to pick it up. We've not been able to find her. Don't know where she's at. And oh, I see the big guys carrying the chest. That was her down payment for that statue we got for her. So I
Come
guess,
on, boy. There's something dark going on here.
What? I told you what. We got the statue. We ordered it for a client. And she's run off or something. At least she put a down payment down. So we put it in the furthest barn away from everything and left her there. Keep it out
Sounds
of
like
our
you might
way.
be dealing with some bad people.
We're merchants. We sell to whomever. You know, except people who like threaten and murder us.
Hear me? That is not merchants. It's war profiteering. Because these were the guys that attacked Ando Tirion.
Hey, you have to take that up with Tannister. I just work for the guy.
That whole just following orders thing never works out.
Yeah, actually, Oral will step up now and say, "Yeah, you know, that place smells like the worst evil stage I have seen in my life. Do you know where I see one similar coming from? From you. So please, stop with this bullshit."
Look. You guys are acting like we're merchants. We buy stuff, we sell stuff. You're acting like we're out murdering people in the street or something like that. And as far as like taking orders, that's what I do. I take orders. I write them down. Then I go get the customer their stuff and I sell it to them. Unless there's trouble, I don't ask any questions. I don't know what more you want of us people. If you're going to kill us and get it over with.
Ding. I write them down. And where do you
What?
write them down? May I see
You're
the
cutting
ledger?
out.
There's a ledger inside the house. It's in a desk.
All right. I'll go read it.
Okay, yeah, you find one desk in a back room. There is a ledger in there, and there's miner's picks and food and anything specifically you're looking for?
Some kind of trace. Anything, just an investigation to find anything I can that's going to give us some kind of answers, because this is where the adventure led us.
A few things you'll notice, and you don't have to make a roll for this, is they're not common, but occasionally there are a few orders that have been filled for things like different kind of weapons, like swords or short swords or bows. You did not see any signs of those in any of the barns. You specifically do not see a listing for any 7-foot-tall statues of Darzanan. You don't see anything like that in the ledger. And you don't see anything about somebody paying some money as a down payment for anything.
Okay. I'm going to point that out to this guy. I'm going to tell him, this is my last time I'm going to talk to you. And then I'm walking away, and then whatever happens with the law, happens with the law, buddy. Tell me why this is not on the books.
I don't know. Tannister keeps the books. Look, I don't know what you guys want me to tell you. Tell me what you want me to tell you, and I'll tell you.
How come Tannister was never attacked by the enemies? How come this place was left unscathed?
Okay. I didn't know this at the time. I found out later when things went bad for her. But the Dark Queen was one of our customers. She was the one we ordered the statue for. Then she went kaput, so we're stuck with this statue. Don't know what to do with it now. We bought stuff from Smith, usually weapons and things like that, sometimes other goods, and we sold it to her and her crews. Nothing we haven't done for anybody else. I wasn't involved in any of her shenanigans or anything like that. And, you know, if you want to talk about profiteering off somebody's bad, good God, we'd have to stop selling to half the people in Illumina.
Why are you covering for her then?
We're not covering for her. We're covering our own ass. We didn't need trouble like this.
That was inevitable. Says, you did good, finally. Listen, you cooperate, and that's going to go down good for you. But make no mistake, this whole place is coming down now. You guys single-handedly made it possible for the Dark Queen's army to do what they've done to this city already.
Hey, if it hadn't been us, it'd been somebody else.
Yeah. You ever hear of Miranda rights? I'm going to walk off and start looking at the other barns.
There's just the 3 barns, and like I said, you know, the one had the statue, the other 2 are just full of, like, basically merchant guilds for a mining town.
Can I do something?
Sure.
I can ask, can I buy a wagon and a lot of stuff for 10 gold?
Can you buy a wagon?
And a lot of the statue and this chest and some other stuff for 10 gold.
Has the other wagon started to roll up yet? Have they repaired it?
No, they've not shown up.
So you want to buy a wagon?
Yeah, so I don't steal it.
From this guy to steal all of his stuff?
Yeah. I'm not stealing, I'm just robbing, made a bargain like robbery.
There's 2 wagons here, but there are no other riding animals or field animals. You've not seen any.
Yeah,
you've got some horses.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have a wagon. He'll tell you, yeah, you can have a wagon and everything in all the barns and everything in the house for a price of 10,000 gold.
Yeah, just cut 3 goals off. That'd be fine. I throw him 10 goals and say, and put out my hand and say, deal. And I try to intimidate him to shake my hand.
You don't even have to roll. He'll take the money and shake your hand
and I don't know. Do I own the house now?
No, he said everything in the house.
Okay. And I say to the other guys, let's load the wagons and get away. I just buy all the stuff, not the house, but all the other stuff. Yeah, I'm buying stuff. I'm a tradesman, like them.
You are a sick, delusional individual who needs help. We have to invent a whole new profession for you, man. Okay.
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna load all the statues on the one wagon and the chest.
Okay, there's nobody. These guys aren't going to stop you. You're doing it.
All what the value I'm gonna take on the wagon.
Unless somebody in your own party is going to stop you, they're not going to stop you.
Store, Devlin will say to Store, I don't think this is what the guild had in mind when they sent us out here. Are you sure that you want to carry forth this way? It'll only reflect badly upon Fletch and the others.
Yeah, I have
just
to
buy.
agree on that.
I made a fair deal. More fair for me, but...
Do you think this man has the authority to make such a deal? He's just trying to save his own ass so you don't
He didn't
kill
say
him.
he don't have it.
Okay, seriously, you're gonna have to. I actually put my hand on you and be like, dude, you're really gonna have to calm down right now. Just stop, and let's try and think of a way to get Fletch out of prison and to clear the guild's name.
Can I take the chest and the statue that the pictures? Only that.
No, this is all evidence, all of it.
I don't take
We
the
got
statue.
that's the main part of evidence.
I want my pictures.
Okay, look, we disseminate treasure and loot at the end of the mission. Mission's still going on. Eyes on the prize, buddy.
I don't tell my pictures. I bought them for 10 gold.
At this point, the young guy with the dog turns and runs.
Fletch, this is not about the money.
When he turns to run, Devlin will take his axe, slash it into the ground, and as he does, a mound of earth will be excavated right from under this man, and it'll be excavated right in front of him.
Okay.
With his cantrip, Meld Earth.
Okay. He's still got the dog on a leash, and he'll kind of pull up short, and he'll look back at you guys, and he's obviously like scared, crazy, almost. He's dropped his club at this point.
Child, we have no intention to kill you. As I eye Store.
So what are you guys doing now?
Okay, I'm really at a loss, and I don't know what to do.
Devlin will kind of go over everything that we found here on the site, and he'll make notes of it in his tome. And the descriptions of the barns, the way that the duel went down in the beginning, he'll kind of just make note of everything for evidence for when we report later.
Okay. Okay. Well, you were just told to investigate, so you kind of investigated.
Is there anyone else in the town that perhaps we can talk to, maybe garner some witnesses for our side as to how Ando Tirion went down?
Oh yeah, I mean the town's full of people, even guards and stuff who were there as far as witnesses of the battle, and as far as witnesses like this morning, people who saw you coming and going. Yeah, both.
Yeah, if possible, when we finish up at the farm, Devlin would suggest that we go to town and we perhaps speak to some of the people and enlist some witnesses on our side, just in case this does go to trial.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can leave any time, unless there's something else you're going to do at the barn.
Did we loot it up? Yes.
Not really. I mean, once we gather anything that can serve as proof, we will leave. There's nothing really we do here aside from that.
Yeah, Store had the chest.
Can I loot in it?
We might want to look at its contents just in case it has more evidence.
It's locked.
I don't slam it into the ground.
Yeah, you beat it enough times, it'll crack open.
Yeah,
It's got gold coins in it.
I don't take the gold coins.
There's 200 gold coins.
And I say, do you want the gold coins or can I take it?
The old man says, sure, I'll take them.
I think this is the Dark Queen's blood money.
Fine.
Yeah, you won't be touching that. Leave it where it is so we can bring it as proof.
You don't leave gold. Oh my god.
No, but we bring it as proof.
Yeah, bring the proof. I bring the statue and I bring the gold to the guild for proof. Because if you just leave it here, they're just gonna remove it.
It's a fair point.
So is that what you guys are going to do?
I don't do keep the statues and gold.
Okay. Who was it that had identified? Was it Devlin?
Yes.
Sorry, I was muted. Yep.
That's okay. Are you going to do that at any point while they're loading up the statue or anything? Or you want to
sure, I'll cast Identify as a ritual on the statue.
On the statue?
Yeah.
I think you need to do it on the urn. I don't know. The statue is just marble, right?
It's a black marble. Okay, on the statue there are two things. The red gem that's in its chest that has a red glow to it, that's just like a simple, like a continual or a permanent light spell that's been put on that. But this statue can be used under the right evil ritual to actually communicate with Unnamed directly. And what it would do is him or either he himself or another powerful spiritual entity that works for him would temporarily sort of inhabit this statue. I mean, they can't move around and fight and that sort of thing, but you could speak with them. But again, it's a... Devlin probably wouldn't want to go into details too much, but it would take a somewhat powerful, nasty ritual to be able to do this.
Yeah, I'll tell them that the statue contains great evil, much as oral thought, and that it's used in communication with the Dark God.
And if I'll go ahead and tell you, either here on the road, the jar, for all intents and purposes, looks like it's just a jar with water in it. But it's actually a jug of conjuring water element. Close. It's actually water. Basically, all you do is unscrew the top, pour the water out, and as soon as the water hits the ground, it turns into a water element.
Can you
And
control it?
you can try. In theory, yes, you can control it, but sometimes they can break away. Yeah, Bill, that would have been real bad. That was supposed to be the big bad guy you guys would fight tonight. I didn't think you'd run forward and steal the thing first.
How long have you been playing with me?
I know. I should have put it behind the door. That's what I should have put it behind. So you guys, where you guys? Oh yeah.
Are we gonna load a wagon with all the proof and bring it to the guild?
If that's what you guys want to do. It takes you about a day and a half to get there. Actually, it may take full 2 days because the wagon will be slower.
You wanna do that, or?
Ooh, sorry I just muted you. Didn't realize you were in the process of talking. There's a lot of background noise coming from yours. Sorry.
Yeah, I asked, are we gonna take all the evidence and put it in a wagon and bring it to the guild, or not?
Yeah, I think we should go back and report all we found here and give them the proof and yeah.
We may want to report some of this evidence to Ando, Tirion's captain of the guard, before we proceed to the guild.
Yeah, well,
Also,
yeah.
I'd like to
all
try.
stops necessary.
No problem. I'd like to try a Hail Mary, and my original idea of the Thieves Guild, excuse me. I'd like to try and communicate with them and see if they could give us anything else that we can use as proof, because I don't know that this stuff that we found is really going to solidify, our innocence and get Ty out of prison.
So you guys are going to go to Ando Tirion then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems like it.
Okay, I'll deal with the captain of the guard first. I know we've been going for a while, so I'll try to speed through a few things. Captain Torg is his name. He's a dwarf. He's actually kind of thrilled to see all of this stuff. And he'll say, yeah, that's a statue of Darzanan, and I'm guessing you guys will tell him some of what happened, if not all of what happened.
Yeah, I'll show him my report from my tome.
Okay. Yeah, he's not real crazy about everything he's reading, but he doesn't say anything more than a few grumbles. But he'll it looks to me like there's enough evidence here I can at least, since he's here and in my jurisdiction, I can grab Tannister and hold on to him, at least temporarily, maybe fully. So he'll give the order for some of his men to go arrest Tannister. He'll tell you guys that he thinks he'll make a suggestion. He won't stop you from doing otherwise, but he'll make a strong suggestion that all of this evidence that you've gathered, he thinks you should leave here in his possession. And the reason he says that is because Ando Tirion is basically, this town is run by the guild. So you've got a much better chance of that evidence being safe here than if you take it to Illumina. Someone may try to tamper with it or steal it or something else. That will be his.
That's a good idea.
And he can put men on it.
Could we do a quick insight on that just to be certain?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Alright, I believe everything forever. I have a 2.
I want to do that too.
Who all did insight checks? Okay. Yeah,
14.
it seems to you guys like he's telling the truth. And Stores actually met this guy a little bit before, and he seemed like a pretty good guy.
I mean, what he says actually makes quite sense for me. So I think it's not a bad idea.
And Anders, as far as the Thieves Guild stuff, I don't know exactly how you want to do this, but I'm guessing you're kind of just going to walk around town and maybe flash a few signals here and there. Like maybe at a tavern or something, or just a few different places that look appropriate.
Well, yeah, and follow the sigils, but it was just me thinking that this wasn't going to be enough evidence. But yeah, gang signs.
Yeah.
I'm in the Crips place and I'm flashing blood signals. But what do you call it? I'm gonna. It's not even necessary if you think that it's okay. I just personally didn't think this was going to be enough proof, but the town's guard is telling me otherwise.
At least they seem to think so.
Okay, as you want. I don't know that I want to tie up the game with a huge encounter with dealing with the Thieves Guild that I don't even think you wrote up yet.
No, it wouldn't be a huge encounter. I mean, Anders could turn it into one, but
oh, he could at that. If anything, then just to establish myself, hi, I'm not stepping on you. Is there any help you could give me with, their supply chain that these guys had? And hey, did you know that they weren't giving you? They were doing this on the low and not telling you?
You will pick up some signals from multiple people. Let's say 4 in different parts of town, not all at the same time. It will be obvious that someone is paying attention to you now. And basically what Anders is told is we are new here. We had nothing to do with any of that. We can't help you. And we are not thieves.
What? That last part, not thieves?
Not all rogues are thieves.
Wait, so is he saying that he's an assassin?
The best answer you'll get is kind of a shrug. Maybe.
Oh my. Okay. Just say, appreciate the professional courtesy. Muchas gracias.
They're kind of like, you'll get kind of a nod here and there, kind of a nice to meet a professional. You're always welcome in town, unless somebody puts a hit on you.
Nice.
And that's pretty much what you'll find out.
Nice.
Okay. Unless you guys want to do something, I think we can wrap up here.
Oh, I'm good.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I will take us off live in a second here, and thanks for everyone who's been watching, and I hope you enjoyed the adventure.